In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this blouse using this pattern. I found this pattern, these two are, I found them on another video and I decided to combine them to make a blouse. So you will need to make 2 panels. I finished the first one. I'll start the second one. The colors that I'm using, this one is burnt orange, and it's the Big Twist, sold exclusively at Joann. You can get it at joann.com. The other color I'm using is ginger, and this one is sold at michaels.com, and that's their exclusive brand. And this color, the camouflage color, it's actually a yarn that I brought from Monterrey, Mexico. It's not sold anywhere else, but I do sell it on my website. So if you're interested in getting this color, I'll link my website below, and I'll also link the coupon code that you can use. I do offer free shipping within the Continental US. So that means no shipping to Hawaii or Alaska. And sorry, I don't do international shipping. So all the information is going to be in the description box below if you're interested. So let's get started with the other side of this blouse. So this pattern is a multiple of 6 plus 4. I've chained 84 and then I added 4. So multiple of 6 plus 4, it means multiples of 6. So you're just going to chain 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and go until you reach your desired length. Then once you're finished, then you're going to add 4 more chains. That's what the multiple of a 6 plus 4 means. So I've already chained up 88, which is the 84 plus 4. And the row 1, you're going to double crochet in the 3rd chain. I usually double crochet in the back because it's if you do it on the back hump, it's a lot cleaner. It'll be like this on the bottom, which is going to make it easy for you to add a border if that's what you like. So I'm going to see here. It's let me see. There's 1, 2, 3. So in the 3rd one, you're going to double crochet, and you're going to double crochet all the way across. So again, try doing it in the back hump. That's what they call it, or the back chain here, and it'll look a lot cleaner. So go ahead and I'll double crochet and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so once you finished all of your double crochets all across, so this is the first row of the first pattern. So we're going to start the 2nd row of this pattern. So you're just going to chain up 5, and this counts as a double crochet plus 2 chains. So turn your work, and you're going to skip 2. So this belongs to this, the double crochet. This one. So you're going to start 1, 2, and in the 3rd, you're going to double crochet. Oh, that didn't turn out right. Okay, let's try this. Double crochet. Then you're going to do another double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and then in the 3rd one, repeat. You're going to do 1 double crochet, another double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, and then skip 2, 1, 2, so in the 3rd. So that is the pattern for this row. So you're just going to repeat, and I will meet you here at the end. We're almost. So I can show you how to do the last stitch. So here at the end, you're going to have 2 double crochets. Oops, 2 double crochet left. So you're going to chain 2 and then going to join here at the bottom. The reason at the bottom is because if you join it up here, it looks kind of weird to me. That's my opinion. Actually, no, that's fine. Sometimes if you join it up here, it looks, it creates like a little bump or something. And in my opinion, I don't like the way it looks, but yeah. So yeah, it does look straight. So as long as it looks straight, then you can attach, I mean, you can join it, I mean, finish on the top of the chain here. That makes sense. Okay. So now we're going to the third round. So we're going to chain 3. Actually, not the third round, the third row. Chain 3, then you're going to make 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. You're going to double crochet in each double crochet, these 2, and then again 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, and that is the third row. So basically you're going to double crochet all the way across, making sure that you add 2 double crochets in each of the chain 2 space. So double crochet, and then 2, 1, 2, and then just continue all the way across. Double crochets. Once you reach the end, you're going to make 2 double crochets in this last space. So that's why this was a 1 double crochet plus 2 is the 2 chains, just like here at the beginning. So you're going to double crochet. Now this is where everybody has a different way of doing this. Normally you would double crochet on top of the chain. I find that if you do it a little bit lower, like this, it actually is straight. So you're going to double crochet in the second chain, so the third. That's my opinion, and that's how I crochet these types of patterns. So it's really up to you. It's just a suggestion if you want to follow it. I just think it's, you know, a little bit straight. You know what, this is crochet. There's no rules. I mean, well, depending. There are rules, but if you're just crocheting a blouse, a blanket, there are no rules. I mean, you can crochet as you like, as long as, you know, you like it and, you know, feel comfortable. And it's, you know, I think, as I mentioned in other videos, I think crochet should be relaxing. So if this is just for you or for a family member, it's fine. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so actually, I'm going to change colors. So if you're going to change colors, go ahead and change. If not, if you're not going to change colors, I'm going to show you both. So if you're not going to change colors, what you're going to do is finish your double crochet. You're going to go up, chain up 3. Oh, actually, no, sorry. You're going to chain up 1, turn, and then this very first stitch right here, you're going to do a single crochet. And actually this row is a single crochet all across. But if you want to change colors, before you finish your double crochet, if you're not familiar, this is how it is done. Before you finish your double crochet, cut the yarn and then attach the new color. So get your color. I always leave loft tails for weaving in the ends. It's just easier for me. So go ahead and grab it and just pull it through the 2 loops. Just hold it right there, just pinch it, and then chain 1, and there it is. So you're going to turn the work, and you're going to, it's a little loose, but once you do the first single crochet, like this, you can pull on it a little bit, pull on this one, and just tighten it up a little bit. You don't want to do it too tight, because then it kind of like folds in and it's not going to be straight. Okay, so then you're going to single crochet all the way across. Easy. So just single crochet all the way across. Once you reach the end, don't forget to single crochet, oh goodness, in this very last stitch right here. You can barely see it, but if you don't, then you'll start to, the pattern will start to, you know, it will start to look like a cone, basically. So just make sure that you single crochet in this very last stitch to see, and it keeps the pattern even. Okay, so the next round for this pattern is you're going to chain up 3. Then you're going to double crochet in the same stitch. So this first stitch right here, you're going to double crochet. You're going to skip 2, 1, 2. You're going to double crochet, chain 1, and then another double crochet. So it's like a V-stitch. And then again, you're going to count 2, 1, 2. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Make sure you do not chain between, because if you do, it's going to ruffle. So without chaining, you're just going to skip over the chain. So 1, 2, double crochet, and then chain 1, and then double crochet. So you're going to repeat that all the way to the end. So once you reach the end, you're going to have 2 left. This is going to be your third. So you're just going to, in the last single crochet, oh, this thing gets stuck. Oops, the wrong one. So you're going to make 2 double crochets in the same, and that last single crochet. So rule of thumb of any pattern is, or of all the patterns that I've known of, you always end up how you begin. So here you began with 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. So you have to end in 2 double crochets in the last stitch, like this. If this gets a little loose, just pull it on, or just weave the end. You have to be careful when you weave the end on this, and I'll show you why. If you weave the ends and you pull on it too tight, it's gonna go like this. It's gonna bump. It's gonna look like this. It's gonna look weird if you do that. So, but I'll show how I weave the ends on this particular blouse. So continuing with the pattern, you're going to chain 1. And then you're going to make a single crochet in the first stitch. And then just single crochet all the way across. So you're going to do 1 single crochet in this space, this chain 1 space. Don't forget the space, because then you'll throw off the whole pattern. See, so it's in every stitch. So it's single crochet in the chain 1, single crochet, and then you just single crochet all the way across. So here at the end, just finish with your single crochet. Again, don't forget the very last stitch. Single crochet. crochet there. I always like to make sure it's nice and straight, so it's good. So then you're going to repeat this side, this pattern, or this row actually. So just chain 3, a double crochet in the first stitch, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and then a V-stitch. So the V-stitch should fall in between the V-stitch below. So really in this row, you don't really have to count as long as you'll hear, because you're going to count 1, 2, and it's going to fall in the middle. If it doesn't fall in the middle, then something went wrong, which I really don't know how, but something would have gone wrong in this row. But it shouldn't. If you did this row correctly, you shouldn't have an issue. So that's this row. Skip 2. Just make sure you go into the middle and do the V-stitch. And that's it. So this is the row, same as this one. Just do that. Oh, my yarn just keeps getting stuck. And then I'll meet you here at the end. And then once you finish this row, you're going to start this row again, this pattern. I'll show you how to start, and then you should be able to continue the pattern on your own, changing colors. On this blouse, I did the camo, and then I did this color, and then the camo again, and then this color. You can do it all in one color. You can change out every color. It just depends on what you want to do. But if you want to do it like this, probably not the same colors, but like this combination, that's what I did. And when I ended actually in this color. It's mine. And then the sleeves, I'm doing the sleeves a little bit differently, but I'll show you that once I'm ready to, oh goodness, to put these together. So I'll show you how to start the other pattern once I'm finished with this row. So I'm at the end, so you're going to do your 2 double crochets in the last stitch. And I think I jumped ahead of myself because the next row is going to be your single crochet all across. So chain 1, oops, and then start your single crochet in the first stitch, and then single crochet all the way across, like this row right here, this one. This finishes off the pattern nice and neat. Now, you can repeat this. Like if you don't want to do 2 and 2, you can do 2 and then 3 of these. It just depends on what you want to do. This pattern is flexible, but this is the way I did this. 2 and 2, I think it looks nice. So I'll go ahead and single crochet all the way across. Oh, so I noticed while I was going back the single crochet that I chained 2 here, and then I did this. Okay. No, don't do that. It's just, I'm so programmed, I guess you could say, that, you know, if you do, if you skip and you, like this one, you chain 2, it's just embedded in my brain. So no, so sorry about that. So no, do not chain. Just go ahead and count skip the 2, and then do your normal pattern. So I didn't notice, I didn't know what I did until I was back with the single crochet, and I noticed that this gap was Like, and I tried, normally you can just probably skip it or something, but it was very noticeable because there was just an actual gap. And if I added single crochets in that gap, it would throw off the whole pattern. So I had to tear it out or rip it out. Everybody says rip it. Frog it, I think they call it, because it's rip it out. And then I'm going to start again. And then I'm going to go back and finish the single crochet. Okay, so I'm at the end, so just remember to single crochet in the very last stitch. So I'm changing colors again, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Cut it off. I'm going to start with this color. So if you attach new color, you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to skip this. And this second one, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And then just go all across in each stitch. Because you're going to do this one in order to do this one. One thing I want to point out is if you are continuing with this pattern and then want to change after 3 or 4, make sure that when you make these V-stitches, it's on the right side. The right side of the blouse is this. So that's why I had to go back and do a single crochet to turn around and make the V's on the right side. And this is the wrong side. So you want to always make sure that you are making the V's on the right side of the blouse. So when you finish your pattern, whether it's this one or this one, make sure it's on the right side. And when you another tip is that when you weave in your ends, make sure you weave it in on the wrong side of the blouse. That way, you know, you can just weave it in and nobody can see since it's the inside of the blouse. So this is a little bit off. So I'm just going to go in here and just, so I can do this. So you want to be careful. Actually, let me go back in here so I can secure it. It's be a little bit more secure if you do this. Now, what I was referring to earlier, when you weave in the ends, which I'm probably sure everybody hates doing this. Make sure not to pull on this so much. Because if you pull on it, it's going to go like this. It's not going to be straight. So just make sure you just pull on it very gently so it won't, this'll, I don't know, mess up the edge. That's what I was trying to say. So since this is the back of the blouse, it doesn't have to be pretty. So I always go one side, and then here I'm going to start going back, but don't go back in the same, just in another stitch like here. Just go back. Do a little bit more. And then go back a third time. Not through the same, just like on this one right here, see? Just go back a third time like this. And that will secure. Just want to make sure you don't want to pull on it too much. And it will be secure, especially if they're blouses you know, they get washed. You know, you wear them and they move around a lot. So that way, this ensures that it will not come undone. So it's very secure if you do it 1, 2, and then 3. And if you want to, for it to be even more secure, then go back a 4th time. So you would, I mean, in this color, you really can't see where I sewed in the ends. On this one, you will see because it's different. Actually, I cannot sew. I have to crochet a little bit more on this side in order to sew this, but I just wanted to, just to give you a tip, not to tighten it too much, and it just keeps straight. So just continue the pattern as this one, the row, and then once you end, you're going to chain up 5, which counts as your double crochet plus chain and your chain 2. And then you're going to skip 1, 2, and then do it on these. And it's more or less, if you look at the bottom here, it more or less aligns up. Now, if you happen to have an extra, like if you're here and you have 4 like this, as long as you have the same number of these, let me show you on the other blouse so it can make sense. So once you're finished with this round, you may have, here I had 2 left, so it was okay, but there was one, I thought I saw it, I thought I saw I had 3 left and 1, oh, it looks like I have 2. Wait, I see, it's on this side. See if I can find it. I think I had like, nope, I guess not. Because if you have like 3 left instead of 2, as long as you have the same number of these as this. So let's say if you have 20 down here, make sure you have 20 up here. Regardless if you have 3 instead of 2 left. Just skip it and just attach. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, oh, this is the side, so here. I thought I had, but I think I did have an even number. But that's how you would, it's really not noticeable. I mean, if it's 5 left, yes, but if you have 2 or 3 of these left on this side, it's like I said, as long as it has the same, you have the same amount of these on this, then the pattern is fine. It will even out. So I'm going to finish the other side, and then I will show you what I did here for the sleeves, or the straps actually. And I think I'm going to add a border, a little darker border. But yeah, I'll show you once you finished with how long it is. I'm making mine 23 inches long. So it took me like, let me see, 33 rows. If you follow this same pattern, exactly this pattern, it's 23 inches long and it's 33, so it's 33 rows. So I finished it on this color right here. And once we do the sleeves, will make more sense as what you're looking, because it kind of looks weird the way it is. So, but anyway, just finish. And once I'm finished with the other side of the panel, I will show you how to do the straps. Okay, so I'm ready for the straps. So this is how I did it. Just fold your blouse in half. And you want to place a stitch marker. So that's the half, that's gonna be the middle of your blouse. So, let me see. If I'm, based on the other side of the blouse, this should more or less, yeah, it's more or less 12.5 here. So the opening that I made for the neck is 5 inches. I don't recommend any larger than 6 because the straps will fall off. It's gonna be too wide, so the strap, the straps are gonna, the blouse is just gonna fall off. I learned that the hard way. So I have here 12.5, and I counted, let me see what I did. 12.5. So I did more or less, where's my other blouse? 5 inches for the width. So I counted 5.5, so I more or less did this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But actually it would be, let me see. I'm trying to figure out what I did on this one. This was like 5.5 inches. So if we do the 12.5, which is the middle, then I did, counted 12.5. So I did it from 10 here. So that's how I counted the opening, because I think it's like 5.5 inches. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to use this blouse as a guide, but just to show you what I did on the first panel. So you more or less count your opening, 5.5. Then you want to put some stitch markers so you know where to start to crochet. Then I actually am doing a strap that's about 2.5 inches wide. So what I did was I counted the half, and then I did this. I put the 2.5 inches in the middle. So it could be a 2.5 inch width from the middle. And actually that's how I came up with the 5 inches. I don't know why. And then, where's my other? Okay. So then to me, this is easier for me to do it like this. I went back, turned it over. So I counted 2.5 inches right there. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be close enough to where it's good. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. But it's not going to be, you know, crooked or anything. So what I did was I made these straps 2.5 inches long. They're more or less, if you put these together, where they start. Oh, this is where it gets pretty interesting. Yeah, it's like 5 inches apart. It's about 5.5. No, actually it's 5 inches. So there it is. So there's your 5 inch opening. So let's do it like this, because I can't remember how I figured it out on the other one. So do the half, fold it in half, do a stitch mark, place a stitch marker, and then just go 2.5 on this side. Put your stitch marker here, and then 2.5 on this side. Put your stitch marker. So this is going to be your opening. If you want it a little bit wider, you can. But that's going to be your opening. So that's how I calculate it. Then, since I'm doing, so that's that. So if you do not want to, this little extra strap, then you would start to crochet starting from here until the end and go up. But since I'm doing these straps, I actually calculated, let me see, I think 1.5 inches from this other strap. So just go to your other picture right here. So put your other stitch marker. So that's going to be your width for the strap, for this inner strap. That makes sense. Yeah, it's 2.5 inches. Just make sure. Oh, sorry. I miscalculated this one. This is where you're going to start. It's going to, so right here, it's going to be your inner strap. So 2.5 inches right there. That's how, it's going to be the width of the strap. No. Yes. Sorry, I am completely confused now. Let me I can't remember what I did. Ugh. Let me figure it out and I'll come back and show you because I'm confused myself. Okay, I figured it out. So I took the middle stitch out because it was confusing me. So from this side, you're going to do 2.5 inches. And then on the other side, do 2.5 inches. So for me, it's easiest if I turn it around and just do this. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but more or less that's going to be the size. Then to make the other one, let me see what it measures. I think it's like 2 inches. Okay. So then from these, so this is going to be the width of your inner strap, these two. So you're going to start, you're going to go like this. I'll show you how to do that. So now we're going to do 2 inches apart for the outer strap, which is the, so I'm just going to place a stitch marker here and then go to the other side. Again, it's easier for me to do it like this. That's just, everybody's different, but that's just me. Maybe it'll help you. And there is your other stitch marker. Okay. So once you've finished, you have to fasten off because you're going to start, because if you turn it around and continue, you're going to crochet on the wrong side. So I did this in this strap in the same color. So if you're going to do it this side, you're going to start from here and end here. So go ahead and attach the yarn. The straps, I did have double crochets. So I did half double crochets. So just go ahead and chain 2. And then do a half double crochet all the way across. So do half a crochet all the way across. Then you're going to turn and do half a double crochets back and forth. The first panel I did was 5.5 inches. And I think I'm going to do 4 inches or 4.5 inches on this one, because if you make these too long, when you attach them, it's going to be, the blouse is going to be like, you know, way below the front area. So again, I learned that the hard way, the very hard way. It was horrible. The first one I did, I had already weaved in the ends, and then I had to, you know, take it out. It was just horrible. So now, as you can see on this one, I don't suggest that you weave in your ends, because if for some reason you miscalculated the length, then you can just easily take this off and take it off. So that's why I haven't weaved in these ends yet, because I've made that mistake. Okay, so I will crochet this side, and I will meet you once I've reached the desired length. I wanted to show you real quick, when you're at the end, you're going to do your other row. There's a little trick that I've learned in order to keep this straight. Instead of chaining 2, just chain 1. Chain 1, and then do your half double crochet in this first stitch right here. If you chain 2, it gets it's not straight. It looks kind of wobbly. It looks very weird. It's not. So this, if you do this, you will have a straight edge. And actually, this is another tutorial that I'm going to start after this blouse, I think. This one has, you end in a double crochet, and then I chained up 2. See how it looks it's not straight. It looks kind of weird. So here I started to just do a chain 1 and then do the double crochet in the stitch, because it's not straight actually. But since it's a blouse and you're going to sew this together, it will not be noticeable, but that's just a tip. So again, instead of chaining 2, just chain 1 and then do your double crochet in the first stitch, in that same stitch, and you should have a straight edge. Okay, so I finished both sides of the outer straps, or the outside straps. So the measurement really depends on your body, or more or less, I guess, a standard. I don't know. On this panel, I made the strap 4 inches long, and on the other one, I made it 5.5 inches. So I pinned them together, and I was able to verify that it was, that it doesn't hang too low or too high. Actually, you don't want to hang it too high. So I finished this other side. I attached the yarn because you want to start on the right side. So on this side, you start from the inside out, and on this side, you start from the outside in. So I attached the yarn here at the top of the chain 3, the last row I did. So now I'm ready to crochet the inner strap, and this is if you're doing the inner strap. If not, then you can just skip ahead, because once I finish the straps, I'm going to weave the ends, and then I'll show you, I'm going to do a single crochet border all around the blouse. So it has a nice finish here, and when you're ready to sew it, you can sew it. It's easier to sew if you have a border. So real simple. I mean, if you're starting on this side, remember, just make sure you're on the right side. So you touch your yarn here and go back and forth, and on this side, you touch your yarn on this side and go back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and crochet the inner straps at the same length as the outer ones. And once I finish that, I'll be back, and then we can start. If the border is something that you want to do, I'll show you how I'm going to make my border. Straps are finished. I weaved in the ends, which is not fun to those who also hate it. That's the only thing I don't like about crochet is the weaving in the ends, but anyway. So I'm going to do a single crochet all around the border with a darker color. This color is dark gray mix, and it's the Karen 1 pound yarn. So I'm going to do the border all over. I'm going to do a border here as well. Go along right here. I'm going to do all this, go along this, do this and this, do all around. That way there's a nice clean border. And also when it's good to have a border, because when you stitch it in, I mean, when you sew these together, since it's a dark color, you're not going to be able to see the stitching. Although there is a way for you to sew these together that will not show the stitch. And that is when you just use the back loops, because you're going to do it this way. So that's a good way of, but again, it's dark, so you really can't, you're not going to see it. So I'm going to start, I'm going to start in the corner. I'm going to start around here, because in the corner, gosh, I'm out of frame, I think. In order to make a really nice corner, you're going to do 3 single crochets in a corner, and it gives it that little round, I'm actually a nice clean square edge. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go around. So just to show you real quick. So since I'm doing a single crochet, I'm going to do a slip knot. I'm going to attach the yarn. I'm not going to go in here, like in these spaces. I'm going to try to do it in the stitching, make it a little bit cleaner. Because if you do it here, it's going to go like this when you sew it. I don't think that looks good, but that's just my opinion. You can do whatever you want. So I'm just going to go into the stitch. It's going to be a little more time consuming to do this, but it's cleaner. It's worth it. So go ahead and just crochet, and then just crochet, and then continue. So it does take a while. You don't want to do it in every little space, because then it will, start to ruffle. Or if you do it, like if you do it here and you try to do it here, it can buckle like that. So you can actually skip that space, but you don't want to skip too many spaces. I'm just going to go into here. Or you don't want to do it too, you don't want to do it too close together at either. So let's see if I can do it here. And then I'm going to go in here. And in here. So it does take a little bit longer. So as you go, just make sure that it doesn't start, ruffling or, tightening, I guess is the name. So I'm going to see, so I'm just going to jump this. I'm going to go here. That's why I say it takes a while, because since you're doing it in the stitches, some stitches are kind of hard to get into. Let me try it again. Like example, there you go. You want to grab 2 strands, not 1. That's just more secure. So I'm gonna just jump in here. Here's another space, but I'm gonna jump into this space right here. Again, you don't want to do this too close together or too far apart. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And again, I'm just checking to see if it's okay. If it is, I'll continue. Find my next stitch in here. So that's basically how I'm doing this. It's just a single crochet. And I was thinking, I'm not sure, but maybe another round of single crochet would be good, because then I've only, either I don't do a border and I just sew it in. You put your wrong size together and sew it, or I make a border, but maybe if I make another border, it'll look better. I don't know, I'll just have to experiment with it, but I'll see. So just go ahead and go around if that's what you want, if you're doing a border. If not, just go ahead and skip this part. Fast forwarded to where I'm going to, I don't know, probably do another border, but I'll see. Just a quick tip. When you're at the corner, at any corner, just go into the, or if possible, recommend do 3 single crochets. Let me see, single crochets like this, and then continue this. So this will, the 3 double crochets will give that little, see, it gives it a little edge right here. Now, if you know, I think I'm going to do a second round. I'm curious to see how it looks once it's sewed in, to see the edge. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to experiment with this one. When you come back around, if you decide to do another one, you would crochet in the middle of it. And once you do that, the corner is on the second round is going to be a lot sharper. But that's how you would do the corner. Let's see if you can see it. Looks a little bit, you know, cleaner. You do the 3 double crochets. And that would apply to every corner. So, not these corners right here, of course, but the corners. So just a quick tip. Makes it look a little bit cleaner. Okay, so once you finished your border, whether it was a 1 border or 2, I did the 2, you're going to make sure that the right side are together. So basically you're going to be, this is the right side on this one, right side. So this is how you are going to start to sew the panels together. And then you, once you're finished, then you know, turn it inside out and it should be good. I recommend, the way I do it, or I recommend doing it, is first sew your straps. Then fasten off, and then turn it around where the right sides are showing. The right side is on the outside. Then measure it to determine where you're going to, how big the arm opening is going to be. And once you've determined that, then you would sew it starting from the bottom, go all your way up, and then if it's from here, then you would stop sewing and leave the arm opening. So that's how you determine how wide that is. And that's it, then you're done. So I guess I covered everything. If not, feel free to email me with any questions. I hope you learned something new today, and thank you for watching. Last note, when I sewed everything together and I tried on the blouse, I noticed that the strap here, if you do it like this, like I did, So this strap is going to fall on your shoulder, and this one's going to fall on the side of your arm. If you do not, I like it. I like the way it looked. But if this is not what you want, if you want it to just be all together, then what I did is I actually sewed the straps together. And that's if you're doing the inner strap. So if you don't want it to fall on your shoulder, then you would sew these straps together. And what I mean by that is, here's the other side. So you just grab your straps and you're gonna do it inside out. Make sure this aligns. See, this is where the middle is. Make sure the middle's aligned like this. I place this a clip and then sew these together, and it will just be like one long sleeve, and it won't fall off. I mean, it won't show on the side. So if that's what you want to do, this is my recommendation. If you don't like the way it looks, and if you do, then you can leave it as is. I particularly didn't like the way it looked. That's my opinion. So that's what I did to fix that. So that's just a quick tip. If you want to follow. If not, then you can just leave it as is. Or if you didn't do the inner straps, then you would have crocheted all the way from here out. It would have been just a regular sleeve. So that's my last note. So I hope this helps. If you don't like it falling on the shoulder, this part, then that's the way you can fix it.